Hey Virgos, how y'all doing? Welcome. We are going to be doing your first half of March general reading here. Let's get right into your meditation. Fascinating stuff. So I heard the theme from the Godfather films, you know, that instrumental theme, and I heard Order in the Court, but it was like a split screen, and on one side I heard the Godfather theme, and it was a very slow pace. It was very like I saw the interior shot of the scene in The Godfather. I think it's the second one, but I'm not sure. Where it's the office and everyone goes to pay homage to the Godfather and, you know, ask for help or assistance or whatever have you. And it felt very orderly. It felt like it's like a due process is very much what I got, right? And then I saw a split screen where I saw, if anyone has ever seen the Fanta commercials where it's like, wanna Fanta, don't you wanna Fanta? And it's very vibrant colors and parties in the street and very like wild, wacky vacation, just fun. Basically the polar opposite of everything, you know, has a pecking order in a way that things are done traditionally. So it just felt like very like a hardworking energy, and then a like letting your hair down energy. And I saw the Virgo collective wanting to step over into this energy of I just want to let my hair down and go a little wild, like not in a, you know, not in a non-constructive way, right? Not in a destructive way, rather, but in a way that's like, wow, I think I need to just fly without a map right now. I feel like I just need to fly without a script. I feel like I want to wake up naturally without an alarm. I feel like I don't want to have a to-do list for a minute. And it just feels like a needed shakeup that wants to happen, okay? In whatever context that resonates. But very fascinating stuff. So with all that being said, let's see what your animal is for the first half of March. Yeah, buddy. March. There's almost a fear I'm picking up on around a breaking of routine. Okay? Whatever that means. It's the animal energy for Virgo. Oh, Lord. We got two. On the bottom is the starfish, which is about wish fulfillment and the physical appearance of things. Right? Okay. Wow. Virgo came to play today. Yes, you did. So we have the scorpion and the dragonfly. Wow. So scorpion is very much about, you know, deep feelings. This is about a need for alone time as well, right? The scorpion, it's shadow energy, because y'all know good and well that everything has a shadow and a light energy to it, right? Especially animal energy. So the shadow energy to the scorpion is I haven't had enough alone time with my thoughts. I haven't had enough time to really do some self-care or some divine selfishness, as it were, which is different than egoic selfishness, right? It's filling up your own cup so that you can then turn around and offer it to others, okay? But when the scorpion rears its tail up like that, it's like, I need to do me. This is making a lot of sense with your meditation. Dragonfly is dream time. It's about seeing things as they clearly are. Again, back to the starfish on the bottom there. How is your perception? How are you seeing and perceiving things? Are you coming from a place of fear around, well, I need to keep everything in order and going a certain way because if I don't, ellipses. Why do I feel like we want to dance with the unknown right now? You know, I'm seeing something very specific, and it's a very specific reference. If you haven't seen it, it's okay. I'm here to fill you in. But they're showing me an episode from a older animated show. It's not like that much older, but it's been off the air for like 12 years or something, called King of the Hill. And there's an episode where there was a character named Khan, and he like went to work every single day at the same time, worked really hard, a businessman, a corporate man. And then one day he finds himself without his job, and he completely goes buck wild. Completely goes to the opposite end of the extreme of working, doesn't want to find another job, spends all of his time like, you know, catfisting, which is a whole other thing. Catfishing with your fit, that's not the point. But I feel like it's like two extremes that I'm feeling here for you guys, and there might be a call to kind of like loosen the reins a bit. Let yourself have some time. Really follow the feeling. You are here on this earth plane, not just to fulfill your soul purpose and live in the 3D and all these things, but also to enjoy yourself. This is a difficult existence, especially during these times that we are, you know, we chose to live in right now. right? I really feel like you guys are in need of some good fun. And there's this element with the dragonfly here of, if there are questions, especially if they're long-standing questions, my beautiful Virgos, to which you don't have clarity around and you've been living in those questions or kind of butting heads with those questions, I feel like the clarity is going to come from stepping away from your usual routine. This can be a day that you commit to this. This can be a weekend, this can be a week. But if it is a day, a weekend, a week, whatever, it's not about I'm gonna follow my fancies and feel guilty about it the whole time. You Virgos are really, you do that. I love you, but you do that. Where it's like, I'm gonna take the day off. And then it's like you check in with you. I have a dear friend who's a Virgo, and you check in later and you're like, hey, how's your day off going? They're like, oh, good. I'm just doing, I'm living my best life watching movies and working on my laptop. It's like, what do you mean you're working? So really commit to this whole hog as much as you would commit to working, right? And again, this can be a lot of different things for different people, but if this is resonating, there's going to be clarity that comes in breaking the routine and returning back to self outside of a schedule, an alarm, or your perceived limitations, right? What's going on for y'all? Yeah, okay. Well, at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Nine of Cups, which directly, remember when I said the starfish is about wish fulfillment, the physical appearance of things? Then we have the Nine of Cups. I do want to talk about this for a second. I do feel like it's for you. The Nine of Cups, again, like I said, it's wish fulfillment, but it's also about excess. It's about having a lot of something. It's about having a lot of good things. Do you see how the colors are lining up here too, with the yellow and the orange and the, yeah, and I'm getting autumn vibes here too. This is a lot. This is excess. I do feel like there's a call for, doing in excess, giving yourself the same time, as much time as you would work. There's just something about, when was the last time that you were with yourself in such a committed and steadfast way? Can you give yourself that? But I don't feel like it's just about like, have fun, which is fabulous and I always recommend. But there's an element of, if there are questions that you have or confusion or you feel stuck or stalwart or you've been living in certain questions and there's something that you're not seeing clearly or don't have clarity around, that is how you get it. Do you ever try to think of a solution to something and you're sitting there trying to think of it and it won't come and then you step away to do the dishes and it hits you like a bolt of lightning? That's what I'm getting at here. So you have the Eight of Wands. So the Wands rule the realm of passion, desire, artistry. 8 is such a beautiful number of material wealth. I do smell money around here, and yes, I said smell money. Again, more sunflowers here with the autumn and the August vibes as well. So this is a quick upward ascension. This is travel, this is communication, this is going from one point to another quickly. I want to point out these red poppy looking flowers in the sun. They're showing me Wizard of Oz when Dorothy stopped in the poppy field and fell fast asleep. And she needed a rest after that journey down the yellow brick road. And it was kind of a scary moment for us as the viewer who were rooting for the dream team there, right? Where it's like, oh girl, don't fall asleep. You got to get up and get to the wizard, girl. But it was that point of her journey where she seemingly did nothing was just as important as the times that she was, getting it and moving forward. You see where I'm going with this? But this is a quick upward ascension. This can also be a quick growth in your intuitive abilities as well. But travel, communication, this is also known as the arrows of love as well. But I do feel like these arrows of love also need to be directed towards yourself. Show yourself some love. If you already are showing yourself plenty of love, I am feeling a call to kind of look at what that is for yourself. I'm hearing constructive, right? And I just heard constructive criticism as well. I just heard that. So you go from this is very funny, you go from the Eight of Wands to the Seven of Wands. So this is my I'm bigger than my body gives me credit for key, right? It's funny, the 8 to the 7, right? Back to the feather here, the air energy, back to the dragonfly as well. I'm feeling a disconnect between the mind and the emotions. Because if you look at it, Scorpion and the dragonfly, this is all emotion right here. And then dragonfly, it really is about the mental realm, right? But there's water energy here too with this alchemical symbol for water here. You know, there is something here about, can we marry the two? Can they work in tandem with and for each other? Okay? And I know you Virgos love it. I'm an Aquarius, so I feel you on this. It's like we love the realm of the mind. But I feel like your emotions are holding very pertinent information and answers to longstanding questions that you've had. So it's like, go there, tap into it. It's, you know, that's what it's there for. But this is surmounting any and all obstacles. Do you remember earlier when I mentioned perceived limitations? This is going beyond your perceived limitations, really Jonathan Swifting it and getting that higher bird's eye view of a situation. I feel like these are the questions or the obstacles or feeling stuck. And you're being called to get up here and kind of get that aerial perspective to gain more clarity around it. But funnily enough, you're being asked to do it like from the watery depths as well. Really difficult to click into your emotions in a fully realized way when the mind is overactive. Okay? Just putting that out there, and I can talk about it because I know about it. What else is going on? It feels like some of you have some people depending on you. Heavily or in a way that's kind of like a lot. That can be a lot of different things. You know, it can be family, it can be friends, it can be partners, it can be a boss. I'm getting a boss for some of you. Or someone that you work with that really is like, you know how they say like, that's my work husband, that's my work wife, something. Listen, the energy is funky monkey in a lot of ways right now, and I'm hearing you just be gentle with yourself around your responsibilities. But ask yourself this, my beautiful Virgos. If doing a job well done is of a high priority in your life, which I know it is, and you are in a place where you're starting to feel less passion for it, or it starts to turn into an obligation, is that going to result in a job well done? Would it be more beneficial? Would you be more productive if you took time to really sit with yourself, marry your emotions in your mind, and get some much needed clarity so that you can jump off from that springboard and go get it? Something here about that. But someone here is requiring a little more of you than you can give at the current moment, or that you're feeling like, you know, it's just like, okay. But here's the thing, babies. I feel like there's a precedent that's been set by you because you're always there. You always go 100%. So then the people around you during this time might be like, what? Scorpion energy, like, what do you mean you can't do? What do you mean you're telling me no? What do you mean you can't work late for the 1200th time this month? Right? There's something about that, but there's a lesson in this for you. Okay? I'm really hearing that no is a complete sentence. Okay? You got the Five of Swords, right? Five of Swords, 5 is the number of change. I also noticed earlier that there are 5 points on the starfish. Something about that. You might need to make, okay, this just wants to be part of your reading, so I'm going to, you know, you might need to make some necessary changes in your life to reach some of these long-standing dreams and passions that you've had. There's not enough time. I keep hearing it. And I'm going back to your meditation with the 2 different paces, with the Godfather and the wanna Fanta, don't you wanna? Like it was 2 very, like, you know the theme to the Godfather, like do 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 do. Like it's very sleepy in these 2 different paces. And I'm just hearing like, if you're in a place where you have not quite fulfilled your dreams, or if there are things that you're like, I want to change this or whatever have you, they're gonna need their changes that are being asked of you to make in order to allow that to come in. Because you know what I'm hearing? That in order to bring new stuff in for you, new opportunities, new living circumstances, new job, new person, new aspect of yourself, you got to make room. You got to Marie Kondo your life. Okay? It's like you're trying to, you know, these new things want to come in, but there's not a whole lot of room in the closet type deal. I feel like this is you making some necessary cuts with this 5 of Swords here. Because traditionally speaking, and I love that this rules the realm of the mind, right? We've been talking a lot about that sword energy, especially with the dragonfly. This 5 of Swords traditionally is, you know, doing what you gotta do, right? To get what you need and get where you're trying to go. It can come through means of, you know, it can be self-sabotage. For me, that's a little more 7 of Swords, but I'm getting this feeling of like, with this 5 of Swords, traditionally speaking, it's kind of like doing what you have to do, even though it's difficult to do so, even though you might leave some people behind, even though, do you see the similarities in this? how you're getting this bird's eye view. You have all these people relying on you down here, and you're like, okay, let me just take a moment. But they're like, hey, call. Come on, answer the email. Come on, answer the phone. Come on. And you're over here like, I'm trying to turn these into swords right now so I can make some necessary cuts and edits. And it's not because I don't like you. It's not because I don't love you. It's not because I don't want to continue to work with and for you. But I have got to choose me right now because I'm not exactly where I want to be in some way. Even if you're in a place where you're like, I love my work, I love my partner, but I don't remember the last time I really stopped to smell the roses. Okay? Gonna be different. Here we go. 8 of Wands. No is a complete sentence. Keep hearing it. Set a new precedent. Set a new precedent, right? Where you choose yourself. Okay, I can't with this. It's too good. So you got the High Priestess. Hello. Remember when I said that that the 8 of Wands can also be an ascension in your spiritual gifts as well? So we have the High Priestess, which is very much about spiritual abilities and gifts. This represents Aquarius energy here. This is really about spending time with yourself and your guides and whatever this looks like for you to really tap into the truth of something and see clearly. Again, with dragonflies, about maybe not seeing things completely clearly, right? When we're overtired, or when we are working with conditioning that we have not yet identified as conditioning, right? We don't always see things clearly. This is really about taking the time to discern what is, unseen to you at first glance or, in an everyday way. This is really tapping into your intuition, right? It's that pomegranate life, right? The seeds of wisdom there. Do you see these shades here, how the shades are pulled up as well? You're being asked to lift those shades up. Do you see the kind of parallels here with the 8 of Wands and it's like these 8 of Wands lift the curtain. You're being asked to really look at yourself. See how Alice is looking at an older future version of herself here? You're being asked to really look at yourself from all angles, right? And really get an accurate and dispassionate, assessment of where you are and where you want to be. I'm hearing Moonstone too. This is Moonstone, by the way, this ring. I think Moonstone is going to be particularly wonderful future in this time. Mercury retrograde's over March 9th, March 10th, but Moonstone is a really beautiful remedy during this time because this is very Mercury retrograde energy that I'm getting right now too. And especially for someone like you, Virgo, who is all about order in the court, so to speak. And Mercury retrograde is about everything going reversed and kind of being fanted up in the air, right? And wilding out, as it were. Moonstone is I'm really feeling would be really, really good for you. But guess what? Assuming the High Priestess position takes time and quiet and space to do so. Remember when I said that if there are questions or aspects that you haven't had clarity on, that taking the time to do so and be in your own energy is going to lead you, is going to get you that clarity? It's exactly what I was saying. Okay, so then you have the Hierophant, another 5 here to clarify the 7 of Wands. So the Hierophant, traditionally speaking, is this Taurus energy, right? It's the marriage key. This is things, remember when I said order in the court? This is the Godfather. The Hierophant is the Godfather. This Cheshire Cat right here, this is the Godfather, or the Cat Father, as it were. It's pretty corny, but, you'll give it to me, right, Virgo? But, I'm feeling the Hanged Man from here as well, which is about flipping your perspective and timing. The Hanged Man, I'm getting here. But this is about everything being exactly as it should be, right? This is that traditional approach to things. This is taking me exactly back to that Godfather imagery, right? There's a certain way that things are done, right? 7 of Wands. Are you playing by your rule book or somebody else's? Really look at your conditioning. Really look at how you do things. Are you emulating a parent dynamic, a parent that you saw growing up, and you are in that dynamic and going, well, this is how my parents did it. I really admired them for this. This is how I do it. Are you looking at within a job infrastructure? This is how, everyone else does it successfully, and this is what it is. I'm really hearing to break free of any, conditioning that you have, because there really is this feeling of, are you enjoying yourself? Are you enjoying yourself? Are you finding true fulfillment and happiness? Maybe not even necessarily where you are, but in the way with which you approach where you are and what you do, right? I'm hearing to be an Aquarius about it. Be a hanged man about it. Look at it from another perspective. Look at it under the light of the moon as opposed to in the bright light of day. Check in with your emotions. How are you feeling? Are you being short-tempered? Are you being a little bit, or people around you, are they being short-tempered towards you? It's always a reflection of where we are, right? In a way. I'm just getting a little bit of like short-tempered, or a little bit irritable, or a little bit impatient, right? That's the Scorpion, right? Time alone is the only cure to Scorpion energy, right? Let's get a clarifier for this 5 of Swords here. Wow. Okay. 8 of Swords to clarify the 5 of Swords. Remember when I said making cuts and necessary edits? You know, traditionally speaking, the 8 of Swords is, you know, being trapped in a mind prison to which only you hold the key. Remember when I said it's about assuming this High Priestess position, getting in with your intuition and emotions to see things that you had not previously seen, or that you're kind of stumped on? And then she has this blindfold on here. Again, with this 8 here. This could hold a special message for anyone in a work context who's not making the money that they want to, or they feel something around the work. Is there more fulfilling work, or troubles with people you work? There's something about that here, right? So 8 of Swords with the 5 of Swords here. I mean, this is like, please do you. No is a complete sentence. This does not look like someone who's enjoying their life. Or it looks like someone who, even if you are enjoying your life, you know, it's about, are there edits or changes that need to be made to where you put yourself first and really practice divine selfishness, okay? You know, I do have this feeling, Virgos, that you're on the precipice of something really wonderful, and the universe is giving you an opportunity to Marie Kondo your life to make room for it. The question is, will you take the time to do that? Okay? And yeah, I think you will. Let's get an oracle. I cannot. Okay, I can't though. Okay. Whale, breach. Is this not literally what we've been talking about the entire time? By the way, whale is deep feeling emotions. Hello. Esoteric knowledge. Do you see how it's just like breaking free? This is freedom. Breach. Breach out of your perceived limitations. Breach out of the way you've always done things. Breach out of any 8 of Swords energy that might come your way, or anyone around you who's in an 8 of Swords energy. I just saw 2222 on the clock, which is 8. 8 feels a lot about money, feels a lot about stability and foundations as well. Whale, breach. This is exactly the point of this entire reading. Also, I'm drawn to the blue here, and the fact that it corresponds to the throat chakra. Say what you need to say. No is a complete sentence. Set a new precedent, okay? Do it. You are more than worth it. There's a lot of good stuff. Luck. I keep hearing luck that wants to come to you, but there's just not a whole lot of room for it. The universe brings you newness when you are demonstrating that you are balancing well what you already have. Okay? Remember that. At the bottom, you had lake, stillness, and I can't with this. 2 bodies of water. Water represents the emotions. Da, 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 da. Right? Lake, stillness. This is what it is. This is what you're being asked to do. Also, look at your reflection as well. Really look at things with a dispassionate view, while at the same time clicking into your emotions and getting some much needed clarity, right? This is beautiful. And I feel like this is really bringing together the aspects of the dragonfly and scorpion as well, with the water being emotions, but also this creates a reflective surface and you're able to see things more clearly, right? Just like Alice here, the High Priestess. Nature, too, I mean, is always a beautiful lubricant to really tap in and be with yourself, okay? And I think once you do it, once you really commit to it like you would working or whatever else in your life, I think you're going to be like, wow, how did I ever live without this or forget how wonderful this is? Remember Dorothy that fell asleep in the field of poppies and then got up more, real rearing to go. Okay? Remember, when she fell asleep in the poppies, that wasn't her choice. There were some magical, creepy poppies that made her fall asleep that were enchanted by the witch or something, right? Something in that, you can either choose to do this or the universe will, lay you out so that you have to, whether through sickness or whatever have you. Not to scare you, I'm just saying, you have greater facility than I feel like is clear to you at the moment. And I do feel like it does have a lot to do with Mercury and retrograde stuff, okay? But I feel like it has a lot more to do with the people around you too, coming at you. I feel like this has a lot to do with the Virgo, the people around Virgo energy as well. I'll just be honest, My beautiful Virgos, you got this. I'm telling you, wonderful things are coming to you. The question is, will you make room and when, right? but you got this. With that being said, this was your first half of March reading. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really missed you. It's so good to be back. Thank you so much for being here. As always, thank you for being you. If this resonated, please let me know in the comments below. I live for reading your comments. And with that being said, just thank you so much again, and be well.